Tuesday edition of Spring Trends right here on Western Spring Television. This is where we talk about everything trending. What's trending, who's trending, why they are trending, and what are Nigerians saying about the situation. My name is EVELYN, and I have with me this morning FEMI. How are you doing today?
Good morning. You're hanging in there.
And I must say you look so good.
Well, thank God. Thank you.
All right, so let's move on to our first story for today. The very first story we will be looking at is the video, that has gone viral on social media and has caught the attention of Nigerians and also leaders across various platforms. Talk about a primary school boy in a debate speaking on the motion that voting should be mandatory for Nigerians. The boy actually dropped a lot of what people call bars right now. But let's watch this video. We'll be back to take reaction.
My co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Abdul Kadir from Kasim Primary School, Agel. Strongly standing here before you to oppose the motion, which says voting should be mandatory. Firstly, the use of force in a democratic setting is unconstitutional. Forcing people to vote undermines democracy itself. Hence, democracy is built on the ideas of freedom of choice. People should be free to choose who to lead them. Making it mandatory to vote is directly taking away this freedom. Any government that tries to apply the use of force becomes authoritarian and taking away personal liberties of its citizens. This alone disqualifies the assertion the credibility of any election is for people to be allowed to come out en masse on their own to vote. That's even allowed the government and international community to assess the extent to which that election was successful. Having said that, consider the kind of politician we have in this country and how politics is being practiced. Who are we making voting mandatory for? Just every last year we voted him to be our next president, with every hope that this will change for better. Opposing him, the first bit of color he gave us was to remove the petroleum subsidy, proving the one nation who took in Obia into untold hardship. Prices of goods and services continue to rise. Tinubu, with all his charisma, cannot handle this country the way we want. Presently,
I love the fact that our directors actually picked that last statement from that confident boy saying that President Tinubu, in all his charisma, cannot handle the country. But of course, that didn't go without reactions, especially from the Niger State Ministry of Basic and Secondary School Education. And they have expressed their deep concern over this incident involving the use of vulgar and violent language. Of course, we didn't take the entire video. The boy at some point actually made some vulgar statements against the Nigerian leaders. And the ministry, under the leadership of the Honorable Commissioner Dr. Adiza Sabi Mohammed, emphasized the importance of promoting a positive and respectful learning environment for students and pupils. And in the view of the foregoing, the commissioner also vowed to investigate the incident further and take appropriate disciplinary action against those responsible for coaching the student to use such language. And of course, Nigerians have reacted to that. At PO_grassroot says the disheartening report stating that the Niger State government invited the school headmaster, assistant headmaster, and class teacher of the boy who went viral on social media talking about the state of the nation during a quiz competition to the government house Mina for questioning is shameful and disgusting. And that Green Foodies and Spies on IG says, so how are they meant to learn how to debate? Or is it no longer in the school curriculum? How are they to have contrary views with well-articulated points? You just want to breed yes men in a nation of over 200 million people. And at Tiffany_Glam on IG says, you are more concerned about respect than corrupt practices. There is definitely something vital missing in these people's brains, because this cannot be normal. Go and fix your corrupt system because even children can see and hear they are not bees. That is according to Tiffany_Glam. And I'll just take this one at Critics News. It says, so the Niger State didn't see the children that are sitting on the ground. only statement. And if you actually saw, if you can see that picture there, you'd see pupils sitting on the floor, bare floor, during that debate. Femi,
I think I'll start from there. This is a debate. I think it's an outdoor kind of event, by the way. So we are not made to see the situation of the school. You know, when these things happen, when we two were younger, there is no amount of, you know, numbers of chairs that will pull out that will be enough. You see, students, sometimes they even want to stand so that they can have this thing. So I'm not sure this particular picture is giving us the right, you know, state of the infrastructure in that school. But saying that,
I think he's saying that they should have been concerned that children are sitting on the floor
for the kind of event,
yes.
and they are not saying that.
Exactly.
They're only saying what the boy has said. I think the boy, by the way, I'm for the notion that we should have children who are expressive.
Yeah.
Don't kill the self-confidence. This is an expressive, confident young man.
Yeah.
And doing what he's doing right now, he will have been prepared. He will have been tutored by some persons, either from home or the teachers, handlers, you know, whoever is involved in doing this. He couldn't have done this alone, giving him points, making him to know what is going on. And that's why I say maybe from home, to let him know that these are the situations and these are the things you should say, to express. Possibly many persons spoke to him to say their minds and what a wish. I think the boys, you know, using a word, spewed bars, by the way, to say this situation. I only think it went extreme, you know, in the full video where he, you know, spoke about having the leaders who are responsible for these suffer misfortune because of what has happened. Thunder should strike them. They should be involved in crashes or plane crash. I think that went too extreme. We should, in as much as you're trying to have expressive children, we should not inculcate negativity into their minds. Yes, it will be expressed. Speak your truth, but don't, especially from the formative age, don't go to the extreme part of life to say, once you cannot have something your way, then the people that are responsible, let them suffer misfortune. Although nature has its way of fixing those things, but we should not allow extremity to take up our, you know, our existence, especially from these kind of formative minds. They are still forming. If extremity is planted into their minds, you know, the result might not be good. But for their expression, it should never be so. So the Niger State government should not just winchant the young boy or the teachers. Instead, they should speak to them. What are these issues? What's these the issues that this boy has mentioned? How can it be tackled? And then you then speak to them. Maybe speak to counselors to say, okay, you should not use those kind of words instead of witch hunting them or punishing them because you feel they're attacking the government.
And you can never say this might actually be, I mean, some words by the pupils, like Word himself, not necessarily being coached, because children are facing this heat also.
Of course.
I was speaking to a child the other day from a private school, and she said that, you know, our transportation fare has increased and our parents cannot afford it. So she has to trek a distance before taking a cab or a bus. And she also said, you know, mentioning that some of us friends have actually left our school and gone to government-owned schools that they are not supposed to pay because they cannot pay the school fees. So these are the issues. These pupils also, they can see, they experience things, they know what's happening. So the government actually to take the message and work on making the economy better. All right, let's move to...
And by the way, don't let's leave this particular story without applauding the boy's confidence.
Yes, it's
super,
on 100.
Super confident. With the gloves in his hands, with his expression, the gesture, the facial connections.
Yeah.
Is a top one.
Yeah, 100. Let's move over to our next story for today. We'll learn that Egypt has stopped the usage of dollar, and you know, they have officially stopped using US dollar in trade. Let's just take reactions very quickly because we are pressed for time at this point. Daniel Rega says the Egyptian government has taken a bold decision, no longer using the US dollar in trade. Whether or not it yields positive results, time will tell, but hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a costly mistake. Africa needs to have a common currency that can be used in trade. It is long overdue. And let's see. Okay, let me just take your reaction, Femi, because we are pressed for time.
I think Egypt, if actually they want to own their own, say we don't have to follow the West to do the things that they do, I think it's their choice. They are a sovereign nation and they can make their decisions by themselves. I think they must have sat down to think about the pros and the cons, the consequences, whatever they may tend to suffer, whatever they may tend to gain by making that decision. So these are the issues. It's not mandatory that you must have your commerce and your trade done in US dollars. There was an agreement with Nigerian government between, the Nigerian government and the Chinese government about transacting in yuan. We don't really know, how the Nigeria factor can happen to things, which many persons were saying, okay, if we face China at this time, maybe because they do major productions, they are manufacturing, but that didn't see the light of the day. But then all the best to Egypt if you want to go that route. But then some of the decisions are not just for economic value. Sometimes there are diplomatic issues that bear these things as well. All the best to them. We learned at the time that the late Gaddafi wanted an African currency. We learned it was part of his plans, although he has his extremity as well. But then I think we'll never find out if that
all right, definitely our fingers are crossed to see how this helps the Egypt economy, and also if our own government, would want to toe this line to see how it can also affect, our economy positively. That's what we are looking for, positively. Let's move on to our next story, which is our last story for this morning. Femi, unlikely friendship, that's what my producer calls it. And talking about the hike in the prices of goods and commodities. We know what food is saying at this time. Now, someone actually went to a supermarket, which actually I have experienced too. I've checked the prices. Rat poison, poison for, this pest.
Yeah.
Rat poison, 4,500. I beg, make the rat come climb bed, sleep, or, people are saying, we cannot afford this, so it's better we just leave these creatures.
Make peace with them.
Let them do what they have to do. Let us do what we have to do. Let me just take other reaction. At Imaz DR says, I know come this life to poison something where God creates himself. God go vex for me. Amazing. And another one here, let me check out. And at Linda Lee 7042125 says, as in 4,500 naira care. You can replace waiting the rats go chop. Person never chop not to for sure rats. And lastly, Lawal Olabisi 4 says, no problem. We would be playing together in the house. At least there wouldn't be boredom. No more rat killing in my house again. Your thoughts, Femi?
I think if you really know the havoc that those creatures cause on humans' life and existence.
You won't mind the 4,005.
Because we've seen people humorously say, you can have your certificate written in University of Kebbi, and they will chop the Kebbi. If you mean University of, these are the issues. Those things are, they can really be discomforting. But then 4,005, the person should have told us from what price, by the way. The inflation is affecting so many things. And, even insecticides as well. How will you say because insecticides are increased, you should leave mosquito to do your body damage? These are the issues. But then I think maybe it's for people that go for the elitist kind of shopping place.
So you think it's cheaper elsewhere?
Of course, there are people who makes this, you know them now, who can actually give you 500 naira, and then you kill all the rats in your neighborhood. You don't really have to go to all these highbrow kind of shopping centers to buy rat poison. Rat poison that somebody sells around, they give you 10, these are the issues. So make sure, if you want to go to the highbrow shopping centers, you know what I'm talking about, be ready to go all the way, But then if you want the arrangement at the local side, it's always there as well. So choose your battle carefully, choose your weapons carefully, and choose your vendors.
Choose your vendors carefully. Okay, and I should add that the way we talk about you taking care of yourself so you do not fall sick is the way you should also take care of your environment. I mean, if your environment is clean, you see less of these creatures, the mosquitoes, the rats, and all of that. Ensure that you keep your environment clean so that you do not spend extra killing or, you know, curtailing the spread of these creatures. And that's a good place to drop it on Spring Trends for today. Thank you so much for being a part of our world, always adding us to your morning routine. We sincerely, deeply appreciate you. And thank you so much, Femi, for the analysis on the show this morning. Yeah. My name is EVELYN OHIOLEI. We'll come your way again tomorrow. Till then, have for yourself a good and productive day.